Everyone's looking at me once again for a start. Look, you know, really it's just to do it and to make a conscious effort to live within your means and to save a certain amount. So I really was influenced very highly in my early days by The Richest Man of Babylon, which talks about saving 10% of your income. Now I know we've had different charts with different savings rates, you know, and they go up and go down, but if you're at least saving 10% and you start early, like that's going to put you in much better stead than people who are spending 110% of their income. So just start early, and the more you can save and invest, the better.
I'd say rather than focusing on earning more, focus on spending less, because that's often a debate. But I don't even think the debate's worth having, because if you go and earn an extra $1,000 a year in income, you're going to have to pay $400 tax, say. So you're going to end up with $600. But if you manage to lower your living expenses per year by $1,000, you're $25,000 closer to early retirement, because that's $25,000 that you don't need to save to be able to create that 4% passive income to get the $1,000 to cover that annual expenses. So I think the small amounts really matter, and to focus on creating a low-cost, happy lifestyle rather than chasing more money to compensate for higher spending.
Probably no, I mean, the mathematics is simple. We've seen it all before. Even these investing questions about LICs versus ETFs, I mean, who cares? Like seriously, if whatever you're most comfortable with, like as long as you don't make, you know, a total disastrous mistake. If you get 80% of it right, then you'll probably be fine. But investing and FIRE is all about psychology. And I think it's probably 98% psychology, 2% whether you put it in Vanguard or LICs. So know your why, get the psychology right, become comfortable with the volatility of the share market. If you invest early, invest slowly, you naturally become comfortable with share market movements. And if you know why you're doing it, then over the next decade, 2 decades, then it's easier when you have that goal in mind.
Yeah, definitely agree with that. Knowing your why, getting started, and then fine-tuning the small expenses. So I just cap what they say.
Yeah, you know, I think that as a participant and now a student of the FIRE community, I think the most important thing is to really ask yourself, what do you value, you know? And this is going to sound contrarian, but I don't think that FI is necessarily the answer to that question. You can go through your life and not be financially independent and still have a very values-based lifestyle. It may be that driving a BMW is really important to you. And if that's what's really important to you, then get a BMW, you know? The other thing that I've noticed from a lot of people who've reached FI is that there's a weird red herring kind of thing about it, which is that, I don't know if this is your experience or not, I'd be very curious to know, but you work for 10, you scrap and scrimp for 10 years to get to this magical point, and then there's no real magic to it. In a weird way, it's like one of those Matrix or Star Wars movies, you know, like the power is within you, despite the fact that you got there, if that makes sense. Is your experience that?
I was actually one of those people who was completely convinced I was going to retire and do absolutely nothing forever. I thought that was realistic. I thought I was going to be completely happy doing nothing, but it just doesn't work out like that. After a couple of months, you kind of unwind from the daily grind, I guess, and then you feel really energized and you actually want to work even though you don't have to. It's really bizarre. I'm the last person who would have believed that statement, but it's true. So it kind of works in the opposite way, that when you can afford to sit around and do nothing is exactly when you stop feeling the urge to sit around and do nothing.
But so the point is that the goal is to put your money in service to what you value. That's the goal. It's not about buying shares or whatever like that. It's directing your money consciously.
It's a tough one to follow, Travis.
Oh, sorry.
I'll just say simply what I've done well and what I think is worked best for me, and that's starting really early and really focusing on not letting my lifestyle creep. I see that happen a lot, and the lifestyle creep I think is a killer for most people who start a job, graduate uni, they've been living really frugally at university, and then they're like, okay, cool, now I've got my paycheck. Now I'm going to move out and get my own place. And then after that, it's kind of a cascading thing. I also seen that with friends and then seen a slight reversion there. But yeah, it's fun.
I'll just add one more thing. Question everything. You might think that you need 2 cars because you've got 2 people in your family and a bunch of kids, but there are so many people out there who get away with just 1 car and hire a car when they need it, or no car. There's lots of things that people go, I finished school, need to go to uni, need to buy a house, need to buy a car, need to do this, need to do that. So just question everything, and is that really what you want?
Become an independent thinker, really, isn't it?